Hello YouTube. Today is November 27th. It's actually 12:04 on November 27th. I just finished recording the 26th video, which I'm considering to have been done on time since I started it with 5 minutes left to go. So this is video number 27 in my 30 videos in 30 days project for the month of November, which is Transgender Awareness Month. I'm using questions from the 30 Days Trans Challenge, posted by the Miserable Muse on DeviantArt. I'm not entirely sure where they found it, but, you can find it yourself, and hopefully you'll be inspired to do it as well. Let's see. Number 27 is, what goals do you have? I don't know if the intent of this question was to ask about what goals I have professionally or regarding my transition. But to be perfectly honest, sorry, the Shibas are going a little crazy. To be perfectly honest, I don't have any real goals as far as that's concerned. I want to stay employed, and the work that I do pays rather well, so I'm lucky in that regard. And actually it's, I lucked into this career. I mean, I've been doing it for 12 years now, so obviously I've put in my dues, but, no 5-year-old grows up wanting to be a telecom engineer. And, I studied journalism in college, so I didn't want to be a telecom engineer. It just happened to be something that I fell into as a result of being in other jobs and other opportunities coming up and being interested in techie stuff and willing to learn. So, so that's where I am. I don't really have a lot of difficulty finding work because the field that I'm in, as I said, no one grows up wanting to do this, so it's a rather small field, it's even rather incestuous. I've run into the same people, or I've run into people that I worked with in past lives, over and over again, in other positions. I take a new job and find, somebody that I've worked with before, or they know somebody that I've worked with before. That happens all the time. So I'm lucky there too. I lucked into the right field, apparently. So as far as professional goals go, I don't have any, aside from continuing to do this, because it's a great way to put food on the table and keep the lights on, It's not something that's my passion. It's not fulfilling any dreams or deep-held aspirations or anything. It's just what I do, that I don't have any real professional goals. As far as transition goes, I'm kind of where I want to be. The hormones have worked really well for me. I have my levels are a little out of whack, so I need to get those straightened out, and I recently had to switch from the pill to the patch because my doctor was afraid that at the beginning of October, in the middle of October, I was having some abdominal pain, and they found something on my liver that they were concerned with, and since the pill goes through the liver, my doctor wanted me to try the patch since it bypasses it and see if the pain goes away, and it mostly has. But I need to do some other stuff, other follow-up, and more blood work, and, everything else. And by the way, I hate the patch. So, if you're considering delivery methods, I loved being on the pill, because it was, even. I was mostly, at a nice plateau. I didn't have a lot of variation in my mood or, hormonal effects, as long as I was remembering to take the pill at the same times every day. Oh, excuse me. And the patch is constant delivery, so I can't get the time wrong on it. So that's nice, but it really irritates my skin, and I don't like it. If I can't go back to the pill, I'm going to try out injection, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not really excited about jamming a needle into my leg every 10 days, but... And actually, what really I don't want to deal with is the up and down part of it as the, injection day comes near and the levels start to drop. I like being at an even keel, but, there's trade-offs. But so that said, as far as transition goes, I don't have any clear goals. I've talked before about the company that I'm a contractor for. If they were to hire me full-time, their insurance covers all transgender medical procedures. So suddenly, SRS would be a viable financial option for me, which it would never have been before. So, that's the only reason that I would actually seriously consider it. Because it's not such a driving need for me that I need to, jeopardize the financial well-being of my family, So that's it as far as, any transition goals go. So far, I've gone 6.5 minutes and talked about how I have no goals. But my actual goals, the things that are really important to me, are the things I value, which is my family, my relationship, and, honestly, doing this. I want this to be valuable. My goal is to somehow be able to, I don't know, maybe it's shitty. I want to help people. I want to help other trans people. But I'm really just sort of doing it from my desk chair and not actually being out and doing anything. I talked about some of this last March when or April, I guess, when the Trans 100 list came out. I talked about how I feel that I'm not actually doing anything. I have over 100 videos now. So that just happened earlier this week, I think, or last week. So I have over 100 videos, and something like, it was 300,000 views over all of them. No, wow, did I blow that up? 130,000 views over all of my videos. So, we're talking an average of 130 views per video, which isn't a whole lot, and, nothing that I've done has, gone viral in any kind of way. And there are others on here doing the same stuff that get just way more views, and, they're in front of many more eyeballs and doing more important things, I think. But I want to help people. I want to feel like I'm doing something to help people, because I recognize the fact that I am rather privileged, Part of the reality of being bigender is that I can, or, am comfortable living in my birth-assigned gender presentation, at least some of the time, and that allows me to avoid a lot of the discrimination and, outright danger of being trans as far as, my professional life goes. I'm not out at work, and I don't have to be, which allows me to avoid that kind of risk. So I'm not brave, that's... I feel guilty about that, but at the same time, I can't put my kids at jeopardy, in jeopardy for being fed and having a home and all of those things, And, I'm white and I'm middle class and I'm at least semi-educated, I'm a skilled employee, knowledge worker. A lot of things that are... The system is set up in a lot of ways to not throw roadblocks at me. Okay? So I try to be conscious of my privilege, but at the same time, I'm not putting myself out there, I'm not doing anything but these stupid videos, and I don't know. I want to feel like this is doing some good. I know bygender.net is doing good, and I've gotten a lot of good responses from people, and notes from people that they have found something that resonates with them and made them feel normal and accepted in the things that I do, and especially at bygender.net. And that's huge. Like, I love knowing that that's true. But more than that, I want to be a great dad to my kids, and I want to be a great child to my dad, and good, sister to my siblings, and that's hugely important to me. I can't... So, my girlfriend had just scanned in some photos, and since the scanner was out, I dug out my mom's photo albums, and these actually survived the fire that my mom died in. And so I've been going through all of these videos, or all these old photos, and, I'm seeing these pictures of my mom, like, let's see, and just seeing how, I don't know, like, what I have not had growing up as a kid, and part of my family that's been missing. But at the same time, realizing just how much I did have, because I had so much family, I had so many people who were there for me, and there for my dad, and for my brother, and, I was raised by a village. Like, there's I think, about 20 kids in my generation. I have, something like 16 cousins, and they're all having kids, and we got together on Sundays and all the time in the summertime, and I was so loved and so supported, and I want to create that environment for my kids, and I want them to know that no matter what happens, they have family, and that I will be there for them. And I told the story before, and I've tried to be brief because I'm already running really long. My dad, the guy who raised me, is not my biological father, okay? I didn't know until I was 22. That's just a testament to how awesome he was as a dad. I have a brother, I have a younger brother, who I guess technically is my half-brother, who's his biological son, And I had no idea that I was, in effect, adopted, Part of that is because he gave me his name, so I am Paul blank blank Jr., named directly after him. He's listed as my father on my birth certificate because he and my mom married right after I was born, and so that was, all planned, and part of convincing her to marry him was the promise to raise me as his own and to give me his name. So the name that I have is extraordinarily important to me, and I'm so honored by what he did that it's been really hard for me to consider changing my name legally. And I keep putting it off, and I kept putting it off, and when I went into the hospital in October, it caused a little bit of problems, because I looked like this, and they were calling out Paul, and so I had to explain that I'm trans, and that, they can't call that name for me because it provides medical information that is private and cannot be shared. Okay, because I'm trans. So, they were really good about using Brin, but, I don't want to have to go through that every time. And if I'm unconscious, that's just more problems. And so I was terrified of talking to him and telling him that I wanted to change my name away from, what he gave me, And I think he was a little hurt, but, he said that he wants me to do what I need to do in order to be safe and to, be happy and be myself. And that he would support me and that he'll always support me. And, he's always going to be my dad. I felt so touched and safe and known, seen. Sorry. And I want that for my kids, I want to be that dad that sees my kids and hears my kids and knows my kids and makes them feel safe enough to come talk to me about something that, is humongous for them, that I may not understand. Because at the end of the day, my dad doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know what it means to be trans. He just knows that this is what I have to do to be happy, and this is who I have to be, to be me. And he doesn't need to understand it. He just has to support me, and that's huge, Like, I can't even, he grew up in 1960s white America, and it's like the height of conformity, and he's too young to be a hippie, so, I shouldn't expect him to know that stuff. That's the dad I want to be. That's what I want to provide for my family, So that's my goal. Like, that's where my passion lies, and that's what's important to me, is to be the parent to my kids that I am lucky enough to have, Like, I can't even... I don't know. I was looking for another picture of my mom here. I just don't even think that I can communicate how extraordinarily lucky I am. I think maybe it's a little weird to say that when the circumstances that led to me being here today involve my mom dying in a fire. But, I couldn't have been luckier in a shittier circumstance, So, anyway, here's another little picture of mom and baby me. My uncle took this photo, and he cut out the bottom of a styrofoam cup and put it over the camera lens, so it has this, nice matted effect. Anyway. I don't know. That's my goal. And I want to be a good partner to my partner, and not to make that any less important or make it sound insignificant. I'm not always the best partner, and I don't know. As little as I believe in astrology, I'm a Leo, so I require a lot of attention, and I'm an extrovert, so I need to interact, and she's a Capricorn and an introvert, and I can be a bit much, So I'm trying to learn how to be the partner that she needs instead of being, who I need to know, how interacting the way that I want to without taking her needs into account. So I'm trying to be better. But, that's true in any relationship. So you know, I try. I'm trying. And it's hard for me sometimes to remember that I'm not the only person in the room who has needs and who needs to be heard and seen. So that's my project. That's my goal. I want to be that person. So I'm trying, you know. That's my aspiration. So be a good dad, be a good partner, be a good contributing member to my family, you know. So shit, this ran 20 minutes. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch it. I don't know. I'm going to post it anyway. So there was bound to be a good one. And you know what? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. And I have really covered so much of the what I'm thankful for in this video that I'm going to count it as, you know, my Thanksgiving video too. So for those of you in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving. For those of you everywhere else, happy Thursday. And for those of you in Canada, I hope your Thanksgiving was fantastic, you know, weeks and weeks ago last month. Yeah, so appreciate your family, appreciate yourself, and appreciate your partners. And that's all I have. God, that's enough. Leave me, leave me inbox messages, comments below. Brin Convenient on both Tumblr and Twitter, and join us in the forums at bigender.net/forum. Okay? Enjoy the turkey.